All right, and it's what is it?
James.
James. We got Cesar and
Eric.
Yep. Okay, cool. I guess we'll start with Cesar since I know Cesar, and I know he's been in the race scene for a long time.
I wouldn't say
racing, since he's like 62 years old. Or
he said back in 67.
We had the 442s.
But we'll start with you if you want to pass that over to him.
No. I'll grab it. You got to start from the bottom.
Fist away, Cesar. Come on, bro.
So Cesar's not from Kansas City. Where are you from,
No.
Cesar?
Indianapolis, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Indianapolis Colts fan right here in the Chiefs territory.
Dude, don't start that shit, man. Don't start that. So how'd you come up racing, man? Like, what kind of got you into it? Like, who'd you kind of look up to and got you in that scene?
I was about 15, bro, when my cousin came home with it was an 89 GT Mustang. And he was doing burnouts, he was doing donuts. I mean, he was doing everything, being crazy on this car, right? And one day he was out drinking, and he was drunk enough that he let me borrow the keys to that Mustang. I said, bro, just let me take it around the block one time. Let me just whip it one time. Dude, I went out there. There was a Price Chopper little grocery store, and I went behind that parking lot. And I was doing donuts in this Mustang, and I curb checked the mug. But it was the funnest thing I've ever done, you know. And I was young. I was only 15, right? Went and gave that car back, but I fell in love with the way those motors sounded, the way that car ran. I mean, just that feeling of, you know, the ass ain't kicking out. I mean, being all over the road. So long story short, he get plastered that night, right? And he leaves. Then he was telling me that, hey, give me a ride home. I've had too much to drink, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was like, nah, bro, I got to get home. You know how Pops is, blah. But I had curve checked his wheel. So I wasn't trying to drive it. So the next morning we wake up, right? We're in my boy's house, and I could hear that 5.0 coming. Mm-hmm. And he's in it. When he got there, he comes straight to me. I'm like, shit, he found out. Well, he came straight to me. I told you, motherfucker, to give me a ride home. You know, I done curve checked my wheel. He had just bought him that day too, you know, so he had a big straight check. But anyways, that's how I fell in love with cars. Mm-hmm. I mean, cars have always been that 89 Mustang, and I've had probably about 10 of them. And I still to this day want to go back to getting another one.
Yeah, you were a Fox body guy for
big Fox body.
Yeah,
I still am. They ain't gonna change that.
You've been saying that for how long? You had that Challenger?
He found God, so
we got a Mopar guy.
He didn't came on home.
This is the first time I've ever ventured outside of Ford, you know. But you know, with what I've learned probably in the last, I don't know, 6 years being around you guys, you know, it's going back to my Fox body. I'll be hurting some feelings this time around because they're so light. It's not that they didn't make no power, but they're just so light, you know, the power to weight ratio would be tremendous.
Yeah.
What do our cars weigh? 4,500 pounds?
Yeah.
That thing weighs 2,800 pounds, maybe. You know, gut it. That'd be a big difference.
How many Fox bodies you have?
10.
10?
Yeah.
And what was your first one?
It was, my first one was a 91 GT, and I paid $1,000 for it.
Shit, you can't find that nowadays.
No,
huh?
This was back in way in the early 2000s.
Shit, how much a roller cost nowadays?
Probably about $4,000 for a decent 4 or 5 grand.
Yeah, outrageous now.
Yeah,
I think every Fox body I've owned, I paid under $3,000. All of them running and driving.
What year was that? Like, what year did you buy that?
Anywhere from my first one I bought was in 01.
No. What year was it? Like, what year was it when you bought it?
2001.
2000.
When I bought my.
Is that when you started getting into it?
When I could purchase my own.
Yeah.
I had my own money to purchase.
How was the scene like back then?
Nah, there was nothing.
Oh, really? Even down there was nothing?
No. Well, there probably was, but, you know, I didn't know where to look. You know, that's when Kansas City, when I moved to Kansas City, I was out.
Up to you.
I was out fishing in Liberty at the what do you call it, the baseball stadiums in Liberty. You know, I was out there fishing with my son, and I could hear him. You know, I'm like, and I even told Christian, like, "Do you hear that, bro? It sounded like motherfuckers out there drag racing." So I say, fuck these fishing rods. I threw the fishing rods in the back of my truck, right? And I drove all the back roads. I drove up, and I spent about an hour and a half trying to find
it.
I know I hear them. They're close. I got to find them. I never realized they were racing right there behind FedEx at 210, right? I didn't know that. That's where they raced.
Oh, that's where you was. Okay.
So I was close to that, but I could hear them.
You could hear them. Okay, yeah.
So, and then, about 2 weeks passed by, and Christian had told him, like, hey, bro, be home at a certain time, respect my rules. You still live here with us. You're going to be home at a different time. And then he was late. So I was in his ass. I'm like, man, where the hell were you? And he's like, oh, I was at the races, Dad. Racist? What racist? So I got him back in the car, and I took him back out there and showed me where they were racing. So actually, when he wrecked my truck in December of 15, I didn't work, construction no more. So I was like, man, I got to give me something to go play around with them. Mm-hmm. I was going for a Mustang. Saw the Challenger. I've always wanted one since they came out. I had seen the 392s. I actually rode in the 392, and I was like, damn, these things, they run. For what they are, they run good. Yeah, so I got me a Challenger. I didn't know there was a big difference from a RT to a 392. So I bought the 5.7, right? I went out there and I raced on 66, and I raced out on Kansas Avenue. I made Joe and all these cats with Midwest Auto, and we went racing out by the airport. Everybody and their mom was walking me. I mean, there was, what's going on here? Why am I getting walked on so bad? I didn't know nothing about Dodge. Mm-hmm. Dodge Performance, I mean, I really never messed with their platform. So, I mean, I can't keep getting beat like this every time I come out.
Gotta start putting some work in, something.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started, like everybody does with the little normal, bolt-ons. Throttle body, air intake, I did header, but that car is too heavy.
Isn't that extra 5 horsepower right there?
Yeah, if that. It didn't change it. I was still going out there getting whooped on. So,
hold on. Let's take it back a little bit though. You got pretty far on this one. So back in Indianapolis, though, you said there was no scene at all though. So you weren't racing at all.
There was a scene, but not for my pocket.
Got you.
Even
with that Fox body though. I mean,
these boys were coming in. I mean, it was.
Were you spraying it or
no? It was just heads, cams.
Yeah.
30 over. We redid the motors and stuff like that. At that time, we're probably doing, 400 horse.
Were they trailer boys back?
Yeah, there was
trailer boys. Okay,
yeah, but there was these were guys with deep pockets. There was the older generation.
The 1320 go down there?
No, I went to like Mustang Week and Ford Nationals and stuff like that. But that was in Indianapolis at the drag strip. It's more something like streetcar takeover, drag racing. But these guys were coming in with twin turbos, giant blowers,
big stuff,
big boy stuff, and I'm still my little 400 horse. These guys
tires on them.
But 400 horse in 1967, that was pretty good though.
I'm like, yeah, I know this one making like 450. Like it was something, bro.
But back then it was something though.
Well, it was, but here's the other thing: I still didn't have that knowledge of suspension, tires, that getting that tune right, the shocks make a difference, I was one of those guys that let me dump all my money in my motor. I got a bad motor. Ain't nothing.
Yeah, but that's how them guys are spinning all the time, right?
Yeah. That's what we talk about all the time. We've seen combinations, like people just throw everything into the motor and still getting spanked by stuff. Yeah. It's all about how you put the combination together. So
Alan was having that problem a lot too, wasn't he? I remember that.
That's why he still won't give me the race. I ain't gonna say too much though, but he already.
It's a little friendly competition.
Yeah.
So with this, back to this RT, fast forward back to this RT, I've beat some cars that this car should never beat.
That's the one you have now?
Yeah, the one I have now.
Yeah, have you claimed that title, RT King?
No, there's that guy with that, what's his name? The gray Challenger with the twin turbos. He's an RT.
Is he
skinny dude, man, by
twin turbo?
Yeah.
Is he riding stick or automatic?
Yeah, stick. Yeah, he's in town.
Never, ever seen him.
Oh yeah, dude. He got a twin turbo RT,
And you raced him?
No. Yeah, that dude has. I think he was right at 1,000. And he used to come out right before you guys.
The one from Lee Summit?
Yes.
The one from Lee Summit that we seen on sale and on Facebook for like 75,000.
Okay.
He wanted 100,000 for it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
No. That's a different cat, bro. I know which one you're talking about. This is a whole different cat. He's just a regular, but he from Lee Summit too.
That's the only twin turbo one I've ever seen.
Yeah,
At least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you get your start then? We'll kind of go over here to the left and we'll bounce back.
Man, it started off from me.
It started with that cutlass.
No, actually, crazy thing about it is, at least my, like where I was from, Topeka, Kansas. So like, we went to go see that damn Fast and Furious movie, and right after that, I got me a '88 Honda CRX SI. So I started in like the little import scene, and then I ended up wrecking that.
How was that scene though? Pretty cool.
Around that time, that's when it was popping. Yeah. I'm talking about like it was just like the movie. Everybody
what was all out there?
up.
Like, what kind of imported cars? Like
Oh my goodness, there were CRXs. There were just like the regular Hondas, Preludes, the hatchbacks.
I always liked the Preludes.
The Integras.
Integras.
Ralph used to have a Prelude, remember?
Yeah, there was. It was just literally like the movies. Like it was like the first movie where they had a lot of that. Because we even had a couple, like a guy or two, the RX-7 and stuff like that. We had some guys with some Supras also, but they weren't like the supers. They were just like automatic regular Supras.
Nobody was rocking them nice paint jobs either.
No.
What would they have on the side?
Yeah, nobody.
All that art.
PC James.
Nobody was rocking those. I think a couple guys had one. But
how was the scene out in Topeka? Or did you have to come to Kansas City still?
No, we had a thing called Martin Tractor.
Okay. And
Martin Tractor was out south of Topeka. And so it was a long strip that we would race on right there. It was like on good nights, you would start at Martin Tractor. You guys familiar with Topeka and Wanamaker?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Wanamaker is like where the mall is in Topeka.
Okay.
So we'd go to Martin Tractor, we'd race or whatever up and down, and the police would come chase you out. And then you'd go to Wanamaker, you'd hang out, chill, and then you'd make your way back over to Martin Tractor and do that. But at that time, I didn't have no money.
Were they pretty cool back then? Just kind of tell you guys to get out of here, or were they kind of cracking down?
No. They was cool. They was cool. They wasn't really trying to enforce too much or anything like that.
Because I know it's gotten bad now, nowadays.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that.
If you were anything like me back then, if you seen the cop, you were leaving anyway because you ain't got no license.
That too. You got to figure it like everybody disperse at once. And it's like whoever gets caught, that's what it is. But yeah, so I had my little CRX, man, and I ended up wrecking it. And then I think after that, like I said, I didn't really have pockets all like that. So I ended up getting a Ford Tempo. Lowered it and threw some NOS on it. Lowered it and threw some nitrous on it. Rode that for the longest time. Then I kind of got out of the scene. And then that's when I crossed over to, I had a 88 Grand Prix. 84 Grand Prix. Had T-tops on it. And that's when I started doing the big rim thing.
Yeah, so donking it out.
Yeah, donking it out. And then ended up getting my Caprice at that time. And that's when I started getting a little bit of money. So I was like, okay, I can move up to something else. And got an LT1 Caprice. Had a cam in it, rockers in it. And then after that, I can't remember what car I had. I kind of like, the whole scene just kind of went away, from the big rims and then the import. And then I just had little regular cars in until I got my Challenger. And then that's when it kind of started.
What year was that?
2016.
Yeah. Okay.
And so just messing around on Craigslist, and a lady was selling a 2010. I don't know if I ever told y'all the story, but she was selling a 2010 Challenger for $4,000.
Wow.
And so I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like,
just a basic
V6, right? And so I'm like, what the? So I'm calling her. She's like, yeah, I'm selling it. So I'm like, hell no. So I'm calling my boys. I'm like, hey, y'all ready to run down here to Lee Summit? It was Lee Summit, actually. I'm going to pick up this Challenger, and I'm going to take cash. And I was like, but I need like 2 or 3 of y'all to roll with me. You know what I'm saying? So don't get. But
Grandma ain't gonna rob you,
bro. You never know.
Hey, you never know, man.
Hey, I know this. I know it.
People be killing people on Craigslist, bro.
Lee Summit, but
Marketplace,
I mean,
shit.
Exactly. So
Set you up.
we got down there. Come to find out, though, through talking to that lady, her and her husband were divorcing, and whatever she sold it for, she had to give him half.
Wow.
So she was being an asshole and sold it to me for the 4, and she just had to give him 2.
Yeah.
Because they were booking for like 8, 9 in. So got it.
You got a lick.
Yeah, that's why I was like left out. And then but when I got home, I was like, damn, I got a V6. So then that's when I started doing my research, whatever. And there was a cat out in Phoenix, Arizona called Plum Ford Racing. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, how much for the swap? And he's like, give me 10 grand. I'll do the swap for you. And I'll do the 6.4 in there. So I was like, all right. Because at this time I'm thinking like, man, I should double back and get me a 392. But then at the time it was like 35. And I was like, I got it for 4 and just give him 10. I'm at 14. So I'm still good.
Still ahead. Yep.
You know what I mean? And then got that motor swap done and been a money pit ever since. It's been wrapped. We done supercharged it. Now coming up suspension, rims, cam, and I'm at 643 now. So we'll just go ahead and say 650.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just
And just get ready to go under the knife again.
it's just it's nonstop.
That's the fun
now.
about
That is the fun about it, though.
You know what I'm saying? When it's the parts you want to replace,
Yeah.
Stupid stuff brag is like,
man, I hate that. That is so like, it hurts my soul. Like I don't feel like fixing it. But when we threw my supercharger on there, I was like,
bro, hell
let's
bro.
throw that supercharger on there. Like, and when we threw your supercharger on, it was like,
ready to go.
when it was just like performance stuff that we wanted to do. It was dope.
Not 'cause it broke.
Yeah,
Like my axles.
I broke an axle too.
Yep.
Oh, did you?
Racing him.
Yeah.
Oh, it snapped.
Yep.
It was
I had
like,
to get it towed that night,
brother. Look, I started off.
It
It
was
was
a bad night.
spinning, and it just all of a sudden I just heard like a grenade, just like boom. I blew an axle racing him.
We thought it was the drive shaft, like coming out of the tail shaft of the transmission.
That's how I broke mine. I broke it racing him. It said, I was like, I know Jane has more power. I gotta take his head off. I'm gonna go ahead and send it to the moon.
But that's for him too. Like I know he's got 200 horsepower on me.
Yeah.
Like so I had to
Send it to the moon.
had to give it all I got.
It's definitely
At
a
least
shitty
do-
feeling, but at least you learn something from it. That's one
yeah.
thing. Like you talk to all these car guys, like you guys, and you guys hear a sound, you're like, I already know what that is. And
Yep.
Because you already been through it, so many times, and that's I guess that's the only positive side out of all of it. But it ain't fun when it's 3 a.m. and you gotta get that bitch towed home.
Bro, that's
what
what
it was,
It was
bro.
1:00 in the morning for mine, and we sitting around like, calling tow trucks.
Yeah.
Luckily that night we had Alan's trailer, right?
Yeah.
So it was my birthday, July 17th, last year.
Oh, he brought a trailer down there.
He was gonna tow his Hellcat back to Topeka, and that night we went to test it, and James like, I don't remember what the fuck he was talking about. So I was like, shit, okay.
I thought it was just getting so bad that they're like, man, somebody needs to bring a trailer every day or something just in case.
That'd be Alan.
Help us out with tow fees.
So luckily Alan had his truck and his trailer, and we towed it over to his buddies, Brandon's, at Top Performance, and to get it fixed.
Yeah, very true.
Luckily
Where's
Alan,
that at?
Grandview.
You took me to one spot one time.
That's
that
the
was
one house.
the one that's behind the house.
Yeah, that big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was what they had in there. I was like,
Isn't that crazy? It's behind the house and they have
And
like
how much?
$250,000
I was
back
like, you about
there.
to rape me or something, dog? What the hell were you taking me, dog? You took me behind the house, all dark and shit.
We got hills have eyes over here, boy.
Bro, because the house in the front, that's what it do look like too. Like, oh
Yeah, I
hell
was
no!
like,
Like,
what the fuck?
y'all either about to sell me or rape me. One of the
I
two.
know, bro.
I don't know where
Like,
y'all
and
mind
it was
at.
late as fuck. It was like 12 o'clock at night.
But
I'm
when
like,
you get back there, it's
Caesar.
cracking.
I know,
People
dude.
out there. Yeah.
They opened up the door. I seen everything on the lift. I'm like, holy shit, bro! Like they got like $1 million up in this motherfucker. Like that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, they got a lot of people for not knowing it's back there.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't put them out like that.
Yeah.
Never mind, not $1 million, maybe like 20,000, maybe like 20,000.
$20,000.
Couple dollars.
Hey man, I'm
dollars.
sure they take care of their shit out there.
Oh,
though,
they
man.
do. I wouldn't go back there and mess
I
around.
wouldn't go up there.
No, you a good way to get disappeared in LA.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You're gonna end up fucking buried in the woods in the back.
They got little nasty little swamp thing on the side of there.
Yeah, I ain't messing with it.
You has to be the frog food right there.
Shit. So how'd you get your start, man?
Shoot, me for real. Like James said, like just with Fast and Furious. I actually started out with like this little Plymouth Reliant, like a little grandma car, man. Bought it from one of my boys, but it reminded me of like a Ford Mustang. So I was like, man, you know what? I could do it, you know. And then back when Hypermart was out there and you know, off of Bannister. And man, my guys used to clown me in that car, bro. Like they'd be like, bro, I seen you out there, you going faster in reverse than you was forward and shit, you know, just dog me, bro. But I was like one of the first ones that threw the beat in that mug and had the damn LEDs going to the beat before they had the shit you could just plug up. We just grounded to the car and the beat would just, you know, the light would flash and stuff, you know what I mean? But like I said, that was when Fast and Furious was around. Then got 18 and bought a SS Monte Carlo, and from there it just took off. Me and my uncle rebuilt the 305, put a little RV cam in it, gave it a nice little chop, and like y'all was talking about racing around KC, like we used to be out there at the silos on Front Street, down there by Kemper, 210, all of it, you know what I'm saying? And
what's that one by Camper called?
We just right there, right off of 670, bro. We used to just race right
Front
there.
Street used to be popping back when I was in high school, back in like early 2000s.
Yeah, that and KCIR, like high school drag nights and stuff. But yeah,
that was the place that got shut down, ain't it?
Yup.
Yeah, that sucks.
McCaskill or whatever. I can't even remember, but it was back when like Claire McCaskill was in office. She's the one.
It was noise complaints they were getting pissed off about.
She had bought a house over there, and so she pretty much the reason why it got shut down. But but good thing now they got the Flying H's coming out. So
where's that gonna be at?
Out in Odessa.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
that's good, man. You need a spot, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you wondering why everyone's out in the street right now. They ain't nowhere to race. Where's the nearest track? What,
exactly,
Topeka?
Topeka.
Shut down.
That's shut down.
Yep.
Oh,
see?
really?
Yep.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Taxes or something.
They've always had issues. Yeah, it was taxes, but they've always had issues. Like they would be open one year when I lived in Topeka, and then because I'm born and raised in Topeka, but it'd be open one year and then close one year. Like it was just going back and forth between owners.
Gotcha.
So it always had that issue.
Did you get pretty packed out there? I mean,
it's some good turnout.
So they're making money.
Yeah.
They had that. Was it import
face off?
Yep. Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think actually they be having like every year. Damn near.
But then the one when Dunkmaster and them came out, that was huge too.
Yeah, that was.
And then they had a place where you could like slide your car and everything. I mean, it can get big, but Topeka just be hating like always.
I know. I can't believe, man. So you still live out there? No,
I live here now.
Because I know Alan drives from Topeka all the time. I'm like, how do you do that
slick,
drive?
bro.
Yeah, I tell them all the time. I be like, move down here. You don't move down here though.
Shit, Tom is paying out people to move into Topeka.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, Topeka's on
It
one
ain't
of those
that bad of a
top
drive
10.
though. You know what I mean? It ain't that
I've made that drive. That
What's
drive's
that?
horrible.
45 minutes?
It's an hour.
Hour?
That's the problem though. Like what I've learned, like Midwesterners, they complain about hour drive. Like on the coasts, like when I was out in Virginia, an hour was normal. You know, like commuting to work, that's
how long
normal.
it took you to get home.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like my drive, I had an hour drive each way when I was in Virginia, and like I get back when I was at the airport working. Dudes that just kind of moved in and they was like living near the airport because they was like, man, I don't want to drive. I'm like, bro, really, this the only area you can afford to live near an airport.
Yeah.
You know, like the coasts and stuff, you can't, you know what I mean? Them one bedrooms is like $1,500. You know, I was paying $840 and I was an hour away with a 3-bedroom. You know, so
it's coming this way.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like that. That's
yeah,
the scary
bro.
part right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you see the traffic right now. I mean, and all the construction going on. They're trying to expand, but you know, it's just. I guess it's a natural evolution of a city. You know what I mean? We've kind of had it pretty good here for a while.
Yeah,
but I know when I first moved down here, I moved down here in 2019 because I lived like 5 minutes from Zona Rosa, and now it's just like it's exploded over there and just more and more being built and just
it's all rentals, all apartment complexes, man. It's kind of scary. It's like they don't want you to own anything anymore. No, it's getting kind of
people don't.
And then, you know, the rent costs what, like $1,500, $2,000 I heard.
That's why I love these when they say we're gonna put up these affordable housing. Affordable housing for
To
who?
who?
Yeah.
They're $1,400-$1,500 payments.
Yeah, and only like 15% of that apartment complex is going to be
Like
affordable
2 apartments
housing.
in that
Yeah.
whole edition
Yeah.
that are affordable housing. They ain't
And it's
nothing.
still not affordable. It's still, like you said, $1,500 a month.
You know, that trips me out, but it's like, wow. I mean, that's just nuts. Affordable housing. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. My son
Using
right
our
now, he
taxpayer
rents.
dollars, buddy. That's all they doing.
Don't get me on that
Hide
subject.
behind. Yeah. We're talking about racing.
Let's go back on the car seat because well, we ain't gotta go down that rabbit hole because
So we gotta cut you off. So you had what again?
I had this little Plymouth Reliant when I started, 2-door. So I mean, tinted the windows. This is before like, you know, where you could really buy like the real tint from Walmart and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was that static clean, you know. But moved into that Monte Carlo, and then ended up. I'm the same as James. Kind of got out of the scene because I ended up moving to Virginia. So I sold the car because I didn't want to take it out there and somebody steal it because I wouldn't have been daily driving it, and then moved back. And I was like, man, I got to get something. So picked up a pickup. And was trying to get into, you know, like fast trucks and stuff like that. Slammed it. Bought a 6-liter Ford. Never really did anything. Then I ended up buying that Charger in 2018. And from there, it just took off. You know what I'm saying? Kind of did the same stuff.
That's what you got right now?
Mm-hmm.
What year is that?
It's a 2016. And did all the bolt-ons and all that stuff. Started stacking my bread. Did the Pistons rides, bought the supercharger, and really James the one that put me on game because like I had always wanted a Pro Charger. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get a Pro Charger. Got me a little marker board up on the wall, Pro Charger, blah blah blah. He was like, bro, I'm gonna get this Torque Storm. So I started looking. I'm like, damn, bro, Torque Storm, same concept, cheaper. And so like me, I don't want to go down the same path per se. Like I wanted to stick with the centrifugal, but I wanted to do something different. That way we got something to compare. So I ended up doing the Vortec, and it was $5,000 less than the Pro Charger. All in. I was like, bet. So went with the Vortec. Same deal as Pro Charger, and you know, Vortec is really who started the centrifugal supercharger game. So went with the Vortec, threw it on there. James put me on modified. Cause like back then, like when I moved back and stuff, I really hadn't been here, you know, in almost 3 years. So it was like, I didn't really know where the tuners were, none of that stuff. So, you know, and I met him through eBay. You know, I bought a E85 kit, bro. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me that story.
eBay, bro.
When I got down here in 2019, I bought a E85
Flex
kit for
fuel.
my flex fuel kit for my Challenger. And then I had it on my car, and then I took it off and I put it up on eBay, and then I get a message and it's like, hey man, I'm in Lee Summit, but I'll pull up on you to get it, whatever. So I didn't have to deal with the eBay fees or whatever. So I was like, all right, bet, come on up. And that was
From that
pulled
day.
it up, and that was it. Like literally through eBay though. It was
Through
crazy.
eBay.
That's crazy.
You know what's funny is that, you know, we're in Fast and Furious, the first one, you know, how they talk about that Dominic Toretto is like a center force, and it's just, it brings people, sucks people in, right? And
Like gravity.
Like gravity, right?
Yeah.
And they stick together, right? It's the car scene when you meet people that
interest.
Like interest, yep.
Yeah, it's just like any hobby. You
Yeah.
know, when you find your people.
yeah,
you know,
it just
it's cool because you come from all different walks of
Yeah.
life, you know what I mean? And you guys would have probably never have talked to each other if you would have been out at some party or something like that. But this thing brings you guys together. You know, you have something to bond over. You know what I mean?
yeah. So yeah, but that's tripped out.
It sounds like Fast and the Furious was the origin story for a lot of people.
Yeah, bro.
I hated that fucking movie.
Boy,
Really?
bro, we was
I
in
like
that
the first one.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. The first
good.
one is like,
That's
that's,
dope.
You know what I liked about that movie? Was that red fucking lightning truck.
Oh,
The rest of the
yep.
shit?
Bro, my part.
The parts truck?
Yep, the
Yeah.
parts truck. My favorite part, well, the first one, cool, but like my favorite part in all the Fast and Furious is when the Mustang got crushed by the damn cement truck.
Oh, shit.
In the second one,
Oh,
bro.
the second one.
Yeah,
Okay,
when
yeah.
they was on the highway and the vet rolled by him and then that motherfucker got crushed by the damn truck.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Hey, the second
that's
one,
the
the second
thing,
one
bro.
actually wasn't too bad
It
either.
wasn't, yeah. But that was my like me. that was really kind of like, I don't have anything against Mustangs. Like, I know they're fast, you know, all of that. And I love the Fox bodies, the short wheelbase, you know what I'm saying? They get going. But to me, like, when I was coming up, it was just like Chevy has so many other options. Like, I ain't have to be like the next guy, you know? So like I said, that's why I went to the Monte Carlo, G body shuffle, all of that, you know what I mean? Threw Kragers on it, did the suspension. I rebuilt the rear end, had an Auburn posi, Moser axles, that damn thing had it all. Went with my buddy had a Camaro Z28. He ended up getting rid of it, but he had pulled some parts. His transmission was built. I took his 700 R4, slapped it in there, and by this time, my uncle and I, he had got me a 350, so we rebuilt it. So like from my mid-teen years, like I started kind of dabbling in engine building and all that stuff. So then when it came time for the Charger, like people be asking me like, bro, who did your work? Like, I did it. You know what I'm saying? In the garage, like taking measurements. I went to AMP school.
In the garage? Just you tinkering around?
Just me, because like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have bread to constantly take my car to the shop. You know what I'm saying? I had to, I was like, bro, if I can get to it, if I can get to it, I can change it. You know, so like from an early age, like I was into it, just doing that. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't afford to take it to the shop, pay that bill. You know, so
that's why I be calling him. Like, Cesar, come over, help me out real quick. Let's put this half shaft in, dog.
Gabriel calls me, you know, like,
he's
hey,
my mechanic.
Give me a hand. And then sometimes I'm like, hey, E. I call E. You're like, hey, E. Come on here.
Oh, is that what you do when you say, I'm going to call you back? I'm going to look this up real quick. I'm going to do some research.
Yeah, he calling him.
You ain't doing no research.
I thought he was actually your mechanic's calling his mechanic.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate that.
No, I call E when, so when it comes to, you know, these modern Hemis and stuff like that, because there isn't nobody in Kansas City that really messes with Hemis. There isn't. You know, probably... I can't even tell you.
Mic up to you,
you know, I can't even tell you who really fucked with them. So when I get stuck with something like, I need you, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Now, if it was a Ford, you know, all right, you know.
Yeah. Ford and Chevy, you're good here. Yeah. Ford and Chevy, you're good here. Yeah.
And Ford, that's like he said, you know, he came through that GM.
What makes them different? Like what?
Not really.
Because again, at the end of the day, when you take down a motor, they're pretty much all the same. But it's like
the concepts.
Well, like we were saying, like
I guess familiarity. Like
yes,
because
like you see a person, you see a shop, and they've got Subarus and Chevys and Mustangs. You know what I mean? And then you go take your Dodge up there to get tuned. You're gonna be like, but you see a shop that all they see is your car, like you know, in your kind of car. You feel a lot more comfortable. Like, yeah, let me go ahead and like I know they're a
lot of people probably don't. Like, average people probably don't know that, and that's probably why you end up going back because you know that's not really what they're working on. Majority
that's
of the time.
Not their niche, you know.
Yeah. But they're not going to say, "Oh,
they're not going to turn down anything."
No, any work right now. I think the biggest like tuners for our platforms are, you know, of course you got Centera, they're in Chicago. Then you had
Bailey's in Texas.
Bailey's,
quite a few of them down there, right?
But nobody locally.
Yep.
You know, that's the hardest part so far. You know,
nobody locally for Dodge. Is
that just specifically
that just sees our
Why
cars.
Is that? I see so many Dodges everywhere, man. I mean, everyone's got a Charger.
Well, you know, you think about it. Everybody has everybody you see out here. Everybody's stock. They just turn it on, go.
Well, that sounds like a business opportunity right there for somebody.
If somebody's going to come through and specialize in Dodge, they can clean up. Because you're right, there's a lot of Dodges here.
Yeah. And apparently a lot of people got money because, I mean, they're pretty nice, you know. Yeah. I know they're basic, but, I mean, they still got, I don't know. I've seen some of them. They look pretty nice, man.
Yeah, Dodge-wise, like as far as like, what was it? I see an article is like, horsepower to dollar ratio, Dodge is the most expensive.
Okay.
Chevy's cheaper, Ford is cheaper, but when it comes to Dodge, you'll see stuff like you look at an intake for a Chevy, for a GM, you can get $300. Dodge, $600, $700. Yeah. I mean, like big price difference.
Why? Aftermarket wasn't, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say the aftermarket just wasn't there for the long time.
They just hadn't picked up the.
I'm pretty sure it'll get better here
it's getting
as we
better.
go along, but
I guess the more saturated the market is, the cheaper it gets.
Same, and just like with Chevys and Fords, like the more of them you see in like the salvage yards, like the cheaper the prices on the parts will become. You know what I mean? So like, and I mean, you do see a lot of them getting wrecked and stuff online, but it's like the people, what are the like Copart and like specific Dodge part sellers are buying up all these cars, so they're not really hitting the salvage yards yet. They taking
so they're still controlling the market.
They're controlling the market by reselling all these parts from these burnt up cars, wrecked cars, and at higher prices, you know what I mean, which is still cheaper than the like buying it from like a My Mopar parts or something like that, new, or even the Dodge dealer, but they've kind of grabbed a hold of that sector and ran with it, so I mean, until that market kind of slows down, it's but the prices are still gonna be up there, you know what I mean, like we constantly be looking for like deals and stuff on parts, but
they're definitely not running short of wrecked Chargers,
right?
Not at all.
Especially with all these slideshows
right now.
Not at all.
On Marketplace, I'm always on Marketplace.
Instagram.
I always like when I see the guys on there selling their car and they're like barely used or highway miles, and then you see a video of them and they're
sliding around.
Yeah, bro. We was talking about that.
Hey, man, hold up, nigga. I was about to ready to sell my car. I was gonna put low miles, never race,
Here we go.
adult owned.
Adult owned. That's a good one right there.
I love that. I'm like, when I see that, I ain't buying from him because they bullshitting. Because I'm an adult.
Highway miles.
Didn't you buy that new too? You're like one owner.
Yeah.
The worst owner.
Yeah. I would feel sorry for whoever gets my car. That thing's been abused.
True. But it held up though. Like that's the thing.
Hey,
like, bro,
you take care of it. I tell you what.
Yeah.
When I bought that car, whatever, the sales guy, they always got to upsell you that warranties and that blah blah blah. So I walk in and sign the paperwork and I sit down. I was like, let me get that gap insurance and let me get that extended warranty.
Oh, that gap insurance.
And he said, he just looked at me. He's like, you're the first one that's ever come here and I don't have to sell him the extended warranty. Why did you ask her for it? It's like, I don't trust your fucking product. Dodge is the worst fucking car out there with broken trannies or rear ends. Or
I feel that's everywhere though, man. Everybody always says that.
Well,
I feel like
it's that mentality, bro.
You
hear from the late 2000s.
Because Dodge is transmissions, right?
Yeah,
you hear that.
So
all the time.
You hear it all the time. So I went in there with that same mentality. Yeah. That fucker's gonna keep breaking down on me,
You're just covering yourself.
So I'm covering myself, right? So I never used the stupid fucking insurance. Everything that I've broken in a car, I've broken.
Nah, but when you need it, you need it. Shit, I had to use gap insurance. I took my truck into a pole, man, and they took care of
everything. The gap insurance I'll get automatically.
You got it.
Yeah, the gap. I was talking about the extended warranty. That's a.
Oh yeah.
They're just shoving it in your
fine print right there.
Yeah, they just got you. But I just want you to have that little extra cushion in case that car did break down.
Yeah, but shit, what does that tack onto the price?
It was another
$3-4 grand,
$3,500, I think is what it was.
But for the payment though, most of them is usually on like 50, 60, maybe $75 max on the payment.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that much.
Yeah,
it was like $30 extra. You have it up to 100,000, or it was 5 years, right? Well, I've been past the 5 years. I haven't nowhere near the 100,000 miles yet. But it's made a believer. I mean, that car's gone through abuse, and I can't bitch about that little Dodge.
What's this whole thing going on with BMW, man? I've been hearing a lot.
Goodness.
I was actually just watching a video right now, because I stay a little bit up on some of the stuff. Like Cesar will send me stuff, or sometimes I'll be watching stuff. I don't know what this dude's name is. I don't know if you ever seen these guys on Street Alpha podcast. Mm-hmm. They were talking to, I don't know, these two guys right there. You ever seen them?
Yeah. Hezzy and
homie was talking about
the
$100,000 race. I was like, what?
Yes. He having that money out there though.
I was like, damn, and they all riding BMWs.
That's they're the I feel like they're the next wave of make of car because they like turbo. That's what I was before this. I was looking at a little 128i, and I was like, man, they throwing LSs in those. Yep. Like, I mean, they've literally got
so what's the BMW got that it's just
small and light.
Yeah.
And is it all wheel drive?
Some of them.
I can't remember which one he has. He was talking about
some
a specific one, the 340i.
Yeah,
and then the BMW B58.
That's a small model.
Yeah. B58 is probably the engine.
Yeah, those little motors, man. You can.
It says Rise of the 340i. So that's what I was like, huh? And I only remember one dude having a BMW. What's his name?
I can't remember his name.
Ernesto. He had one.
Oh snap! Yeah.
Ernesto
so there for a while, Ernesto was actually he had a what was it? 328i.
328i. Yep.
Is that
the
what
black
one? The gray one.
The gray one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darker gray.
Well, he was out there hurting feelings.
No, he was quick.
On a freaking what that little download tune he had from
John used to use the same thing with that cheap ass Android tablet.
That's the one I'm talking about, bro. It's like a $20 download tune that changes the parameters in the computer. Yeah. And he all he had was he did the downpipes on it.
Yep.
The filters.
Didn't he do the intercooler?
Downpipes, intercoolers, and had some better filters in that stupid $20 tune. And he was out there hurting people, bro. I'm like, holy.
BMW's coming to like around here. It was only a couple dudes in high school that I knew had BMWs, but they really wasn't doing nothing to them, just cosmetic stuff, but not really into the racing thing. But nowadays, though, bro, you'll see the mugs pulling up like it, the races and shit that we go to, and they do pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, them cats out there in New York, they was calling out all the big names, bro. Like, you know what I mean? All of them. But like, you watch their videos and they be shutting down sections of highways and just doing a quick run. Yeah. But yeah, $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 like cash days, in one street race, bro. It's crazy. Like
that's crazy on that deep. Boy. I lose $200, I'll be crying for the rest of the week.
Yeah, imagine losing $100,000, man. How does a pot even get up that high, man? They were talking about 1,000 people being at that race, and where was that at?
I don't know. On this,
out there in New York or some shit.
Yeah, you got the big boys out there. You got EMP, where they're out there repping Dodges. Mm-hmm. EMP is probably one of they have some hot boy tunes out there.
Yeah, hard to fame them.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how that scene is, and I wish Kansas City could be like that. I believe. I mean, we hold right now the title, I guess, to the biggest.
Keep it going.
What do you call it? Street race scenery.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Yeah.
Before old dude died, he had one of the biggest cash days in Kansas City.
Yeah. Yep.
So. I mean, here was where I've met Big Chief and Big Chief and Murder Nova and stuff like that. I've met them out here in the streets of Kansas City.
You know what kills the buzz that we like is those slideshows, man.
Yeah,
that really kills the buzz for the straight.
And they were talking about it on that podcast. Yeah. It's been fucking everything up for them too.
It really does though, bro. Yeah. Like when we was just racing. I mean, they
shut down 210 because of that, didn't they?
But but just as soon as that slideshow shit came, is because everything else that came along with it. Not saying
all
that
the shooting and hitting.
Not saying that stuff didn't happen at regular straight line racing stuff, because it did.
Oh, it did.
But it wasn't as much
every weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, saying there's a time and place for it. Like,
they had something set up to where they were letting them do it at a certain designated area. But
shit, it was guys. I don't know if the event is today, but a couple cats we seen at the shop just a few days ago was headed down to Texas for the big slideshow event. And then like Cesar said at Topeka, like when they would do the import nights and stuff and have like little areas, for the slideshows and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I mean that's a big thing at events like burnout contests and slideshows just for the entertainment, but. Like
you said though, it's a time and place, man. You know what I mean? Especially with all these little kids out there, trying to get famous on the gram and shit, getting smacked and killed.
That little dude, man, that I cannot think of dude's name. That he's like 13, bro. Drives that Camaro. They pop out at Nolan every now and then. But 13, bro.
He's a beast. He travels. Yes, like I started really because we seen him out at Nolan.
Yep.
And it was like, what is his name though?
I'd have to.
But they told us his name, and we started looking him up. Bro, come to find out, this kid goes everywhere and does these slides. Like he has a Z28, a white Camaro. Z28 Camaro.
How much skill does it take to be able to do that, though? I mean, you just...
I'm not going to lie. I tried it. That shit don't work out. It didn't work out for me.
Really?
Like, I'm pretty sure it takes
I understand maybe in like a tight area how they're doing it, like trying not to hit people. That
Yeah.
probably takes some skill. But
I mean,
no, it's just a doing a
like
donut.
The newer cars, bro, you kind of got to know, like, because you know the transmission's gonna shift. So like for us, like we'd have to throw that mug in manual on the gear selector, like our shifter. And just to be able to keep it in like first, or you know what I mean, even manually shifting it into the second. But like old schools, man, when we was doing it, we just let that mug rip.
Yeah,
you know, it was cool. It was easy back in the day. Like, you know, when I had my S and we used to do donuts and shit like that, like it was easy for us.
See, I've been in the car with JB because that's where I tried to do it. But no, I'm
Pedaling
watching
it.
him. He's like feathering it at a certain RPM. And he's like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, this shit is an art. Like, it's cool.
It is
but,
an
like,
art.
I couldn't do it. I tried it and swung out.
Tires is too expensive nowadays,
Yeah,
bro.
you
I be
ain't
like,
lying,
oh, shit.
Yeah, how much?
You know?
How many times they can do that till they got to replace the tires?
One
It
night
just
you
depends.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
It just
shit.
depends.
I remember
You
Jay
know
used to
what
hit
I'm
me
saying?
up like,
And
some
what?
old
We looking at
tires.
like $400 or $500? Or?
Yup.
I
More
did
than
that.
on the budget. I usually get mine used.
Yeah.
You know, unless I
Go to
get
the
like some.
junkyard, pull some
Yeah.
off for $10.
I follow a few guys that do like tires and stuff. So like my last set, I think I spent like $150, but he gave me 4 tires for like the rear of the car. But you know what I mean? Like cats that just when they get, you know, work at tire shops and they'll just resell like good tires that people bring in to swap out and stuff. You know, that's really what I look for. But every now and then I'll buy, you know, like for the drag setup, we'll buy them brand new.
They're like $400.
It's like what it costs us for them, like them Mickey Thompsons, bro, like $650.
Yeah.
You know, for 2 tires.
$371 a piece.
Yeah. Yep. That and
Is
like
that the go-to tire right now, Mickey Thompson's?
Those
For the
street
most
R's
part,
they're
yeah.
pretty sticky.
Yep. Yeah, I usually get the Street SS because it's a little more daily driver friendly. But yeah, the street, the R's are the way to go. Like as far as like a street tire, from what I've tested, I think one of the best tires is like the Nitto.
555R.
Yeah, triple. Well, that's
That's
still a Nitto. Yeah, the Nitto, the 555R, and then they got the NTO 5R.
NTO5R.
That one, bro, I'm talking like from a dead stop hooks. You
So
know,
And Nitto's getting more expensive. You know, my truck, the tires I had on the MTs I had, I mean, I think they cost from 5 years ago
bro.
when I had bought them, they were, shit, I don't even know, man. Like, I think they went up like $300-400 or something like that.
Yeah.
Tires,
Over, like
I
3-4
remember
years. Yeah.
when I threw tires on the Challenger, I think I spent $600, almost $700 for the whole set. And then I bought my 35s for my Tahoe. Those are like $1,100 for the set.
Yep.
Tires is crazy.
Yep. See, I do mine different. Like I'll put like the regular 555s on the front if I do a Nitto set, and then I'll do like the 555R on the rear or the NTO 5R if I, you know what I mean. But most of the time now, I'll just run up to the tire shop and get 2 fronts, and then I'll put my money in the rear tires. Cause like we talked about, like for our cars, that's where most people don't realize that's where you need to spend your money, because these cars are so heavy to get them to go. You know what I mean? You want to have a good tire. So like I'll put my money in the rear tires, go get some decent ones for the front, and just call it a day. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah,
that's big money because I got probably a Goodyear and a Firestone and a motherfucking 9 hard
Firestones, bro. Them what are they? The Firestone Firehawk. Them mugs are good. Like that's, if I buy something, like I'll buy them. You know what I mean? Them Firehawk.
I'll tell you what, I've had
Indy 5000 to 7000.
Nitto 555Rs.
Yeah.
Bring that mic up to you, Cesar.
Oh, Nitto 555Rs on my car, and I don't know what it is with that stupid car, but first gear being solo a gear, and I run 392 gears in that car, it'll explode the fucking tire. It just annihilates them. I've run what you got right now, not the R tire, the
555s or like
the NTs. I've ran those. You know, the only thing that really helped it is a cheap tire that was on the eBay, the Lionheart.
Bro, that's where I get my tires at on eBay, man.
Yep.
Just send them here, you know, have
That
right to
tire
my
had
doorstep.
better
Even
traction.
Amazon's got some decent deals.
But you can't even get it because I used to get both those rear ones for $190, $180, whatever. Now they're like $300. I'm like, what? But look what the cost of eggs now is. So
Yeah, you ain't lying, man.
I mean, I just dropped $300 at the grocery store right before I came here, and I look, I'm like, damn, I really didn't get shit.
It's gonna get to the point where you're gonna have to have 2 jobs, man.
Even
afford this shit.
The AZ 850s,
those are good tires.
Toros, and now they got a actual drag radial.
Yep,
you know, that. And so I'm like,
shoot, I'm not cheap like the other ones.
Yeah, they not. They still like $300,
like,
you know. But yeah, them usually like the what are they? Not the Yokohamas, but they got another cheap like Chinese brand of tire, but the rubber's sticky. You know what I mean? But those are Toros. Those would be a nice tire to try out for like street, but most of them drag radial like that street tire, the wear is stupid. Like, bro, like I think the Mentio 5Rs probably lasted me maybe 3 months.
I don't even think mine.
Bro, not even a full summer.
You know, I got them in and it was coming right back off.
Yeah. But but then like us, like we usually keep like a drag pack, so. If we want to go do some racing or something, we can just throw those on.
Drag pack on.
Yep, be cool.
Yeah, they're in my shed.
Yep. So sad.
So speaking of all that stuff, how's the scene right now, man? With everything kind of getting, cracked down, and things are starting to kind of dry up a little bit. I mean, has it still been okay? I mean, I remember when we used to go a lot, because I used to go with him a lot, man. We went for years, man. You used to take me, and I know it kind of tapered off a little bit when that slideshow stuff started.
Where beforehand it was like, come one, come all.
Yeah, it got a little hush hush. Yeah,
it's hush hush now. Like you're more than likely invited.
Yeah,
like
right.
we're part of a couple groups that like.
Yeah,
it's like please don't share the pictures, and it's just like you're invited out. So
it's actually kind of expanded. Like it used to back in the day. Like it used to just be more like you go to the spot and it'd be dig races. Now we they got the roll races and stuff going, and like he said, it's usually invite only. Like you know what I mean. You know some people, and so I mean I might see something, I'll share it with the group, or they'll do the same. They'll send something to me. You know what I mean. But yeah, like even it got so big where like out of towners, like people from St. Louis will come in. Just for the fun or whatever, and it was even a group of our guys went to St. Louis. For like the same type of like fun or whatnot, but so I feel like it's gotten a little bit bigger, and they got the slideshows and stuff, but it seems like nowadays like they kind of sticking and doing their own thing, like
separated now.
Yeah, they kind of just separated it. They little Sunday fun day stuff. And so like most of the time, like anything that like the real racers or whatever you want to call them, that's gonna do some digs or whatnot, they'll be like, hey, no sliding, respect the spot. You know what I'm saying? So people are really kind of starting to respect the different zones. You know what I'm saying?
I always wondered that because I used to talk to Cesar about that when that stuff started happening, and I was like, is anybody trying to sit down with some of these kids? I guess there's really nobody running those slideshows, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint like how do we get them all to stop? You know what I mean? If everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. But no, that's good. They went that route, just kind of keeping it.
Well, they did
on
have
an invite only.
Most of these, everybody has their own little, I guess, club you want to call it, between the guys
crew.
Their crew, and they did have a coalition at one point that they would have discussions on what they were going to do, but the sliders these boys are knuckleheads. I mean there was no
they're
young.
They're young.
That's what I was about to say. Remember us at 23.
No, that's what I mean.
We was the same. Wasn't nobody telling us nothing.
Yeah, but
exactly.
I don't think we had, badass fucking souped up, race car. You know what I mean? Like, what was the highest horsepower back then? You were running 200?
80.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
but that's what I mean when I say knuckleheads, because I know what I was when I was young.
Yeah.
Ain't no motherfucking adult gonna tell me.
And there's a lot of guns now, too. That's
the
thing,
biggest thing.
You know what I mean? Well, I guess young kids with guns.
Yeah.
Because even me, I'll be 32 next month, and even when I was younger,
I used to wear behind the ears.
If somebody had a gun, it was like, man, shit, okay,
Bro, look, I went to one slideshow. It was like a couple years ago, and they're driving up and down the street, hanging out with ARs and stuff. Wow. And that's when I knew right there, Slideshow wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I said, I like to see y'all slide. I won't do it, but I like to see y'all slide.
Dude, you seen that guy? You seen that guy in Miami when he got his car hit? He just started dumping on this dude.
Like,
yes, the one that I'm
not about to leave that as my legacy. How James died? Oh, I hit by AR in the slideshow.
Man, really, for real. Like the only place I might slide like Swope. You know what I mean? Like on like the Sundays, like when everybody's chilling, like down right in the middle. There's like they'll just gather around and like people might pull in, they might whip it a little bit and they pull out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that'd probably be the only spot I would probably do it.
I feel comfortable.
Or
there was some guys. Remember what I was saying earlier? They were trying to get them all together. You know what I mean? Yep. I don't know who was running that.
Right. Like I said, like old boy, like they just did one, bro. Like a few months back. And it was, they put it together. Like, they was like, all right, this is the spot. They had permission to be in that lot, all of that.
I remember that was the guy. They had it all set up.
Homie at Randy's shop. What's his name? The black dude. What's his name? Cash Cars guy. What's his name? That dude's funny as fuck. He throws those commercials, man.
You ever seen that? He has a commercial for...
What's that dude's name? I know that. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know the.
What's his name, dude? That dude, man. If y'all ever seen his commercials, man, oh my god, dude. What did he say? I got the baby mama special, right?
Oh yeah, baby daddy special. Yeah, because I seen that on it was on Facebook, and somebody was like, "Who the hell is this?" And little did I know, dude was actually from Kansas City.
Yeah, dude, that dude used to crack me up, bro. I remember I met him one time, man. That dude, he's actually a nice guy, dude. He's a funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious, dude. Yeah. He used to stop at Randy's shop.
Yeah, he used to be at Randy's shop all the time. Yeah. I can't remember his name though, but yeah, no, that Logan. Dude was, he was organizing some stuff for that.
This guy.
Some of y'all may not understand, but him. That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the dude with the 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His son.
Yeah.
So Logan.
13. Yeah. Yup. Because like they always be out there.
You see that on? Let's shout him out, dude, because people got to go. Look at his shit. What's that? Instagram?
Bro,
just go Cash Cars KC.
Yeah, Cash Cars KC.
And got the baby mama special.
And he sell the
I remember he was like, once you take that shit out the lot, don't bring that shit back. He said, I'm gonna get you an A to B. Like, dude, honestly,
cool. So his son, his son is the one, the 13-year-old that slides.
Yeah, maybe promote. Yeah, like they'll be a no.
Look, he said, baby mama special right there.
Baby mama special.
Let's go play that.
This is your baby mama coupe special. Baby mama coupe special already come with pink lips on it.
Pink lips on it.
Bro, hilarious. That's how he sells his cars.
Yeah, bro.
This shit here. 2 doors. We ain't got leather seats. We got cloth seats. Look at the inside.
We got cloth seats.
That's a motherfucker. And we are famous for having some of the cleanest motors. Let's take a look.
Man, man,
bro. That's Rails, one of Rails homies too,
That's
bro.
one of Rails homies.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
But y'all gotta check out his YouTube channel, man.
I'm about to do it.
Cash Cars KC, bro.
Okay. I didn't even know he had.
Check him out.
I follow his.
Oh, dude.
Boy, he has so many on there. He goes,
wow.
Is that motor knocking? Or the train sleeping?
Yeah.
Or slipping? Yeah. Don't bring that bitch back tripping. You know what you bought.
We sell shit as is.
Yeah. It ain't no warranty.
Hey, he ain't lying though. I mean, he's selling them cars for like $1,000, $2,000.
What really do you think you're gonna get for it?
Like,
I mean, I don't
need something quick.
Bro, he says on one of his videos, he tells them, when you drive this, you test drive it, take it to your mechanic, take it to your dad, take it to your baby daddy, take it to whoever the fuck you want to take it to. But once you buy it, don't come back tripping. As is.
See that's one of my specials right there. Like I'd go get it $1,000, bro. Drop an LS in it. You know what I mean? Like if that'd be the person I'd go to. You know what I mean? But that's fam right there.
Yeah, dude. So he was organizing some stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, that one
dude, I don't know if it was him or somebody had a U-Haul. They rented a U-Haul.
Damn.
Like a box truck, or was it just a regular truck? Did you see that?
Truck.
Yeah. Huh. I was like, man, this dude, best $20 ever spent. Right? What is it, $18.99?
Boy, there's those young cats that rented that U-Haul trucks and just pulled that motor up.
Pull them 6.0s out.
I'm gonna need it for 3 days. They fucking swap that 4.8 for that 6.0. Man, that's $20, bro. If you can do it, you can swing in 3 days.
Best ever.
Best ever. That's hilarious though. But yeah, man, he got this little kid, 13, bro, doing slide shows. But they just did one, like, I want to say it was October, and it got shut down for some reason.
Because wasn't it like to stop the violence one?
Yeah.
It was smoking tires, not your homies.
Yeah. But they got shut down for some reason.
Yeah, dude.
But and then like down in the city, like they'll put together a slideshow at that right there at like 31st and Paseo at that big church that sits right there. The parking lot on the north side, which I think is probably Linwood and Paseo. Mm-hmm. They'll do slideshows and stuff there, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like legit slideshows and stuff.
Oh, that's
but
yeah, at least they're giving them a place where they can do it, man.
Trying to at least.
Mm-hmm. That way they ain't doing it on the Paseo.
Yep.
You seen that video?
You know, or shutting down downtown and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying?
Boy, with the fireworks coming out,
man.
My these guys.
Yep. But it was crazy, bro. I remember back in the day, like I said, when we used to race down there by Kemper, they did a sting, like the news. They had people and cops and stuff was posted up on top of buildings, bro, and they was just watching. Yeah, we're down here at, blah, 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 by Kemper, and we're watching the street racers and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I didn't know they raced down there.
Yeah, bro. You couldn't get no traction. Like, nobody liked going down there. Because like I said, it's real sandy. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you try to take off, bro. I remember watching, like, Mustangs just going back to back because they couldn't get no traction because they'd be going up against, like, all-wheel drive, like, Subarus and stuff and be mad because they couldn't, they know they could take them, but they couldn't. I done threw belts off the car. You know what I'm saying? Trying to race down there, like,
what's the gear that Mustangs always hit when they end up flying off the road? Is that second gear, third gear?
Third gear.
There's like a whole compilation on
man.
YouTube of that.
Shit, we was leaving one of them. They had a Krispy Kreme's car meet out on 103rd and State Line, and it was a dude in a Mustang pulls out, goes to hit it, and that mother was like. Boom, boom, over the curb.
In the middle. What is it? Why do they do that shit? It's just so light?
Just light.
Light and
ass. Shit. That's crazy.
That's what scares me about, those Mustangs. People jump in them and
get a little happy.
I'm about to give them a show real quick, and then that ass thing gets you. Boy, once that mug starts sliding, let out of it.
Yeah. That's what they don't get.
They hold into it.
Yeah,
that's one thing, though, I will give you your flowers, Cesar. I ain't rode with y'all, but this motherfucker can drive, man. I give it to you, man. We've always all said that.
But I ended
up... you scared the shit out of me. Bro. You scared the shit out of me. Sometimes I'm like, Cesar, you trying to die? What the fuck? Chill out, man.
I remember one time I went with them. We was hauling balls. He was like, yeah, I don't got no sway bar in here. What the fuck? What the hell? Like, Cesar, pull over. Pull over right now.
So my car, he asked me, goes, man, this mother got a lot of sway. It's a big car, so you can feel the sway in it, right?
It's like a boat, like an 87 Cadillac.
Man.
He's like,
Cesar why is driving sway? Like he's 6'5", bro. I'm
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
And then I'm
chill
like,
out.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I took all the sway bars, sway bar links, everything is gone, bro, in this car. But it helps with weight transfer, because when I started with that car again,
what helps with my life?
Don't get in there, motherfucker. That's what helps with your life. I don't even feel it no more, but everybody feels it, bro. Yeah, I'm used to it.
I feel it. Fuck, I'm here like, where's the seatbelt? Put that fucking seatbelt on.
Oh, shit.
But again, go back to that stupid car. When I bought it, I'm getting my ass beat by everything. So I started doing the research. I'm like, 380. What 380 horsepower? What the fuck? That's to the crank. So the reality is probably 320 at the wheels. The car weighs 4,500 fucking pounds. Boy, it's like 100 horsepower. Mm-hmm. So, I got to do what I can to get out of that line faster. So I dump my money in my suspension. I got a decent tire. I take out the sway bars to help transfer that weight to the back.
Say dump your money to take out parts.
Yeah. So
you do be swapping parts a lot, man. I've noticed that about you.
Yeah.
You be having all sorts of shit. Yeah.
Tested.
Yeah. Now
you finally sell that fucking part you've been trying to sell for the last 3 years. What was
Which
that?
one?
That two-step?
The two-step.
You've been trying to sell
Bro,
that.
he got that two-step up on Facebook Marketplace right now.
And he got the comments on. No. I was about to be like, that shit's still for sale?
So I've had so many hits on it. Motherfucker want to offer me $40 for it. Man, kiss my ass.
Stop being a cheap
if you don't give him that damn thing.
So, man, that
give
thing
it away for a present, man.
That thing was $400.
Man, when? How long ago?
3 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's $40 right now, bro.
You're thinking inflation applies for used parts of it.
It was used twice.
Jeez.
So the fucked up thing about it is like
Why'd
somebody
you even buy that?
to help for the launch.
Does that help?
Yes,
Okay.
For manuals, yeah,
manuals,
they do.
not for.
How does it help? Like, what does it do?
So it keeps your you floor to the floor, and it keeps your RPMs at work. So like my sweet spot's about 2,800. You know, so it keeps it right there, even though my foot's at the floor.
It'll like a trans brake.
Yeah, like a trans brake. So, but
launch control.
So I finally get a hit
in the new age
that they're gonna come get it. This was 2 days ago, right? Bringing up that two-step, motherfuckers. So I'm like, fuck it, you know.
I just seen it yesterday. That's why I brought it up.
So talking about that stupid two-step, somebody hits me up 2 days ago, like, you still got that two-step? I was like, yeah, it's still here. I'll come get it. I was like, all right, let me go in the garage and find it. I can't find that piece of shit.
And find it? You've been selling it? You ain't got it out, like on a table?
I don't know where it's at now. I lost it.
That's how long it's been. That's how long
I don't know where it's at, bro. So I went through all the car parts. I went through all the boxes. I
like
found
the foul plugs.
You
though,
probably
bro.
sold it already or gave
it. Does. That's why I took it off.
Yup. Them two steps like the foul plugs.
That's exactly why I took it off. It was falling my plugs and they were running like crap, check engine light blinking. I was like, fuck that thing. Waste of money.
Didn't you end up what'd you end up putting in there? Supercharger, didn't you?
Yeah, I ran with the St. James.
You had issues with it though when you first installed it, and remember when I went over there? No, something about the rail lines, or it was something you were having.
I was leaking at first.
Yeah.
No, that was the fucking intake.
That was
okay.
Yeah,
I got the same intake and I don't leak.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's he doing?
I don't know.
Hey,
Mr. Harbor Freight.
Who installed it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's always trying to cut corners.
It wasn't leaking when it left the house.
Hey,
oh, he put it on.
E and James put it on for me.
But your intake, man, what was?
I think
your intake,
I think there's something wrong. Honestly, I think that intake, there's a defect in it.
Yeah,
made on a Monday.
Or Friday, right at 2:30.
Yeah, Monday or Friday.
Where'd you get yours from? Modern Mopar? Modern.
Hemi. No.
What the hell is that?
Modern Muscle.
Yeah, shout him out. Tell him to send you another one.
Yeah. So, dude, that intake's been off probably 7-8 times. You know, and
at least you know how to put it on fast now,
bro.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, you seen. I cranked on those fucking bolts that they actually went into the intake.
I think it's wavy.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
So
seal up
this last time I took it off, I just took it off again and bought new gaskets, and I did RTVC. Slat it down, like the old school way of doing things. But I think it's actually
JB Weld on it.
Well, I thought, hey, what did I say? Who did I tell you that to? I was like, I'm about to weld this motherfucker to the heads. Fuck, I'm done with that intake. If it happens, it hasn't done it. You know, I'm gonna give it that. It hasn't leaked no more. But I honestly think there was a defect with it. There's no reason why it's an easy swap. You know, you take the old one out, you put this one in, you screw it down, and you torque it. E did it. E torqued everything.
It always says it's supposed to be easy, right?
I mean,
it's only gonna take me an hour. 2 days later.
Yeah. But I mean, they did like with that intake, like they did. It was a bunch of stuff unsaid about that intake. Like you needed, like depending on your injectors, you needed injector spacers. Yep. You know, the fuel lines would hit the way the like where on the Hemis where the oil fill net comes out, like that fuel rail. If you didn't have certain injectors would hit that, so you had to use washers and shit to kind of build some standoffs. Like you had to do a lot of
modifications.
Modifications for that intake.
Where do you guys end up finding that stuff, man? Like YouTube help out a lot on that shit, or forums?
It just depends.
Just messing around with it.
Yeah, I when that intake did come out, the sniper for the Hemis and stuff, I did look up it was like a couple of YouTube videos, but all it was like, you know, people doing reviews on like unboxings. Nobody had really tested it on the Hemi. Then finally, you know, there was one video that was out there where they did test it. And he was kind of going over those issues, and dude even went so far as to give you the part numbers for the injector spacers and all that stuff. So a lot of it, you know, did help by the time we had ours, but we still ran into our own issues where like we had to go get longer bolts, I think, for Cesars. We had to get like washers so we could give it enough space, even with them injector spacers, to clear the oil fill neck. You know what I mean? It's always something. Like we looking around in my toolbox for like just more washers to be able to get the fuel rail to sit right. You know what I mean?
Because it was for all the kids out there. Save your washers and your screws.
Yeah,
man.
bro.
No BS.
I got a whole bucket of
no bullshit. Save them.
Yep. But yeah, shit. And then the damn map sensor on the back, bro. We had to, luckily, I got like parts from all kinds of shit. So I had like these little black tabs, little L tabs, and had to bend one into a little Z shape just to be able to hold his map sensor on the back of that mug. Like, because it don't come with like the holder. A holder to keep the map sensor on, and the one he had didn't have the little ear on it to put the bolt in it to keep it in. So we had to just make some shit up.
What was that? Is it defective or is it just
no? So my map sensor, my original one that was in my stock intake, you got to cut the ears off in order to fit on that intake. So this one, you actually need the fucking ears to bolt down to the intake. So I was like, damn. So. But if they would have said, the instructions doesn't say none of that.
Now I'm trying to get them to go to
those anyways.
Right. The only thing I look in there for is the torque spec. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
But
and that's still an ooga-dooga or two.
Yeah, bro.
I've never seen Cesar use a torque wrench.
Yep.
We'll use that German torque. You know what I'm saying?
If it gets loose,
I torque everything.
Hey, if it
I'm
gets
a machinist,
loose again,
so we torque
everything.
We have torque specs on everything, man. And I used to be a big believer, like, that shit don't matter. Just tighten it. Nope. No, you want that.
Yeah.
You want to make sure your foot pounds and your inch pounds are on point. Man.
Especially like aluminum, bro.
And stuff like that.
Especially if you want something to sit flat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really matters, like with aluminum. You know what I'm saying? Like old engine, like when I was messing with the 350s and stuff like that, cast iron heads, none of that really mattered. I mean, obviously we gonna torque the heads and stuff, but like intakes, when we was on and off with intakes and stuff, you know what I mean? Everything was cast.
But aluminum being so soft.
Yeah, and like
stripping fucking threads and shit.
Yep. Hell, even when I put this high ram on my car, I was having problems with two of the bolts and ended up, they were studs and was pulling them out. You know what I mean? So I ended up, like, one of my buddies, he was like, you probably gonna have to do like the double nut on the stud to be able to tighten, push the stud down in there further. And once I did that worked for me on the high ram intake. But yeah, I was having some of the same issues. Like bolt was kind of just, you couldn't get it down there far enough to really grab enough thread. So it, aluminum is real weird when it comes to, so I always torque like the inch pound torque wrench. When I built my engine, I went and bought a brand new torque wrench just to have it, but,
it is, man. It's key. It's key for sure. Is there any other big things coming up? Street Takeover? Did they come last year?
April.
So they came last year.
They came in August last year, right?
No, they came in April last year.
Yeah, it was April too.
Last year. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
down there
I've only
at
been
the
to one of them.
GM plant.
Yeah.
This time it's
last 2 years.
I went to the
GM.
Yep.
I went to the Arrowhead when it was at Arrowhead.
Bro, that was
what year
huge.
Was that?
17?
Yeah, 17.
No,
yeah,
it wasn't that long ago, was it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, because one year they skipped because they couldn't get Arrowhead to. They couldn't. It didn't mesh with the schedule, and then they either skipped it or that was the first year they did GM. Because I think they was talking about not having it.
No, I think they skipped one, didn't they? Because
remember
that year,
they
we
must
wanted
have.
to go.
Yeah, and then that following year, that's when they started going to GM. They got everything lined up with GM, and they did GM for 2 years now. Yeah. And then this year, next year they're gonna be at the drag strip, which is gonna be dope. Because shoot, everybody gonna be able to get out there and race.
Yeah, I think it's
fun, bro.
Humongous.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yeah, that year was cool because 1320 went down to 210.
Yep.
That was pretty fun.
Yep.
But now 210's that's dead, right? It's done.
They be out there.
I guess we'll shit about that.
Invite only.
It's dead. It's dead.
Invite only.
Yeah, there's cops every day.
You know what I'm saying? Yup, troopers and shit.
Yeah, that's funny. Sheriff, troopers. I mean, you got man.
Dude, the game's been changing though, man. On YouTube, like how they be videotaping all those races. I mean, just the quality and. Man,
yeah, well, he had one of them little 360 cameras. Yeah, that he puts in man, that shit is dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, that's the one he told me to get for my bike, ain't it? Yeah, man. I mean, it looks legit. Like you're actually watching like a what's the TV channel on cable? Like for all the they don't have street but racing stuff.
Oh,
Discover
1320. I mean,
what is it always on?
Street Outlaws.
Yeah, like, what is that channel always on? Like a
Discovery.
Yeah, it almost looks like that type of
Yeah.
quality now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty neat because I know you sent me some like where you see all the trailers come up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit. How much money they put in
Bro.
cars, man?
Bro,
But don't it though, man? Like it just you be like, damn, bro, here come the big dogs. Like you know what I'm saying? We just be out trying to have some fun, and then these cats roll in with the big ass tires, and be like, fuck you,
bro, because it adds up quick.
Yeah,
because I was. Me and the wife, because she was wanting something to complain about. But I was adding mine up, and I literally, like, within the last, like, 3 years, I'm, like, 20 grand in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it adds up. I know you're probably more than that.
Honestly, bro, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? We probably, we might be approaching, like, 20, like, all in on, like, extras throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, like, my little breakdown, and tires and all that stuff, bro, maybe like 20 in or something,
okay.
Because
I know
that's
my motor
just
swap
maintenance
was 10,
stuff.
and then my supercharger was like 5, but then like the little
odds and ends.
every other week.
I'm like 10 in.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because last time I added it up, I was like probably right around 16, and so on top of the, the car, shit, which I got average? 30, that's low, I think.
Yeah.
That's on the low end.
Combination though.
Yeah.
Like we really were big on that. Like we just didn't jump into stuff, which I feel like a lot of people just jump into stuff and want to just throw some money at something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that ain't the fix for all of it. Yeah. Sometimes you have to get I've seen people like you saying you beating cars that you should have had, like putting the right combination together and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
But here's the other thing that I think that saved every one of us the money is we've done the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what we paid is probably the tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where most of the money comes in. You
don't let us figure out how
to
tune.
Isn't that that's the beauty of it though, right? Them nights where you with your boys and you're just sitting there wrenching on a car, you know what I mean, having some beers. I mean, I feel like the younger generation that's coming up, they're losing that because they're just dropping their shit off at shops. You know what I mean?
And going about their way.
Yep.
Because we was talking when we was putting his motor in, bro. We literally was just shooting the shit, like sitting there messing with him, and that mug dropped right in. I was like, bro, was it supposed to be that easy? Because it was like almost. It was too easy.
Yeah,
it was like weird.
You're freaking out.
Yeah, I'm like, what's about to hell no? But that mug literally just like
we missed something.
The earth about to end, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
I forgot the turk converter.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, bro, but it literally just lined it up and just.
Hey, that's that scenario when it goes in so nice, so easy. And then all of a sudden you get done, you go, fuck, I forgot to put this in. You got to take it all back out.
Well, we didn't forget anything.
Nah. Yeah, luckily, we had everything together,
But, those nights are cool, but you got to have people you trust too. Because I'll give you a story. I pulled out the motor on my 93 Fox because the oil pan was leaking. And I bought a new oil pan. And while I was there, I re-gasketed everything. I went through the whole motor. Make sure it's freshed up. And my cousin was with me. He had just come in from Texas. He goes, hey, cuz, you want me to help you? I'm not thinking everybody don't know about cars, like, oh, man, just tighten up that oil pan gasket, the oil pan. So he said he did it, right? Next day, motor's beautiful. It's painted, all fresh gaskets. It's ready to get dropped in. I drop it back in, throw oil in it, fire it up. That motherfucker leaking worse than when it came out. I said, man, what the fuck, dude? Why is it leaking,
That sound like a little bit of familiarity right there with my truck and the rear differential, Cesar.
Yeah,
bro,
you remember that day?
You didn't sit on that seat?
Yeah, that motherfucker was not leaking as much as it is now.
Man, he got that cheap 99-cent gasket, bro. He trying to blame me for that.
I did get that cheap ass
gasket. I told you. He trying to blame me for that little gasket. So I get under it, and I'm like, where's all this oil, right? Man, he didn't even tighten the fucking bolt, bro. I even did the RGB. I put the gasket. I put it in there. I said, just tighten them all down, bro.
So it's just hand tight. So it's still seeping out. Yeah. I think the only thing I've ever been, remember when we was pinning the crank? Yeah. And I was like, I'm not pinning this crank. So I had E. I was like, here, E, you can pin this mug. Because you got to drill into your crankshaft. And if you, like, it's, yeah, bro. You pulling the motor out and rebuilding it.
Yeah.
So I had him do it.
And buying you
And
crank.
it had him do it on his too.
Yeah, he has. When they did mine, they're like, "You want to pin the cranks?" Like, hell no.
Man, no.
Oh, Hetty.
He would just get under there and be like,
Bro,
like, oh, snap.
man, we didn't have some shit like messing with James' car, bro.
Oh,
like
Lord.
that's like we went back when it was in the storage unit and stuff, and we was
rear
trying
end.
to the rear end, bro. Like
Jesus
that
Lord.
boy, we went through hell working with that. That was one of them. Hey, in 2 hours, he telling the wife, "Day, it's gonna take us 2 hours and all day," and then come to find out, we was like, bro, it's the right spline, everything. Like that mud would go in, it just would not seat. And so, like, come to find out, it was something different about
the input spline was machined, like it was fatter.
Yeah.
And so I would have had to get it machined. So I ended up having to get
another
a different div,
mm-hmm.
and then had to find the axles to that div, and then go
Yep.
with the spindles. Man, it was just it was crazy.
Because I'm like, we sitting there counting the splines, like
3 or 4 times.
We looking in there. We had like a screwdriver pointing at one. We like, dude, you know what I'm saying, making sure everything lining up. Like, bro, I know I'm not tripping. Yeah, and that mud would not seat, bro. We went through some shit with that car.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I mean?
So just to compare, like going back to the trailer cars, dude, like because those fascinate me, man. Like how much money? Like you said, you got about 20. You guys, almost that. He's got cheap ass over here got 10. How much do they got? Like,
I guarantee
what are
they
them
got
cars?
that
Man.
70, 80.
Yeah, but
Yeah, more than that.
probably.
One of them motors, those big blocks like the
Yeah.
632, some of them go up to 70 grand.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Just for the motor.
But a lot of them dudes, they just like us though. They just on another in a different level.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a lot of their work. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
a lot
money
of them
changes
cats,
everything,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you got money,
Yep.
you can build,
Yep.
whatever.
A lot of them
more.
cats is doing
Yeah.
all they welding, they tubbing, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I mean, they're saving a lot of money, but they've probably got a lot more money into it as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's what kind of sucks, man. Because I'm sure there's a lot of good, like guys that race, but they just can't afford to get that, to be able to be up with the big dogs.
kind of like us, shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just can't afford to really families, and which I mean, you know what I'm saying? Them guys got families too, but they kind of just started out different. They probably started a little earlier than we did.
Or maybe they just got better jobs than us. You
or
know
something.
What I mean?
You
They
know
just
what I
got
mean?
other business owners or whatever.
Yep.
So that's about to be Cesar when he retires, huh? Hey, ain't that? You
I'm
said
gonna
you gonna be pulling a trailer around?
bad grandpa.
Man, yeah,
Got
bro.
race parts for you.
You know what I'm saying?
You guys ever been to one of those like big ones, like those ones that go on all night? The one that you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
Crazy.
Bro, those is crazy because this is usually how it goes is you'll meet up at one spot and that's just the spot to filter if you're trying to bring some like cops or shit because then you usually go to another spot after that because like the trailer guys, they usually have to take their stuff off the trailer and then you drive out to the real spot.
Right.
And then that's where they
run.
run.
So they don't bring the trailers. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Because you're trying to keep it low key. Because if you got 10 trucks with trailers coming by, cops going to be like, what the fuck? Where the hell y'all going? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I think...
That's what I liked about like the Big Chief and them, the Street Outlaws, like they did a season where it was like daily drivers. They'd meet up, they'd cruise over to the spot, and then they'd had their races and stuff. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's real stuff right there.
When did that start taking off? The Street Outlaws and so what year was that?
So the first time I saw Big Chief was actually that TV show Pinks.
Yep.
What is that?
It was a TV show. It was
at the track though.
Yeah, it was at the track.
Okay.
You brought James brings his car. I bring my car. You got 3 races. Best out of the 3.
For pink slips.
If I win, I get James' car. He wins, he gets my car.
Oh, man,
so that was
some fucking stress right there, dude.
Yeah, and these guys were just bringing their cars, their best car they had, and raising their heads up.
Yes, that's crazy.
And for pink slips, shit, and actually,
that's too. No, I'll race for some money, but bro, I'm not racing for no
blood, sweat, and tears.
We good.
And you gotta call an Uber home.
Yeah, nah.
So that was the first time I seen Big Chief, and
how you explain that to your wife too?
We
ain't got no car.
Daddy Dave, Murder Nova, they were all in there. They all came together, got a Fox body, LS swapped it, I believe, what it was, and sent it down. Man, boy, they hurt that guy's. He was driving a Honda, and that dude was just not catching any brakes. They were out. They knew what they brought. They brought something to kill that, so they weren't giving him any chance. But that was the first time I seen those guys.
Yeah.
What year was that? That was in Kansas City.
I think the first time I ever really seen start was like 16, 17, and I'm pretty sure it was going on before that though.
Yeah, it was.
Like those guys were they've
social
been doing
media kind of opened it up to
exactly.
Other,
we actually seen it.
They
on
even
TV.
had they did an episode on Street Outlaws where they went back to the beginning where they was like you wasn't no lights and stuff. They actually racing in the dark, and them the whatever that TV show producers came to him was like, bro, I want to do a show. And like, they was like, bro, I don't know if I should trust this dude, blah, blah, blah. Then they like actually came back and he was like, no, I'm serious. You know what I mean? So Chief went to the guys and was like, hey, they want to just watch us, blah, 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 start this TV show or something. You know what I mean? So it was like, cause that was real cool, man. Like the way he was like, well, what do we do if the cops come? He was like, brother, if you don't know what to do when the cops come, this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nah, man, that's real stuff, man. It's, I love it, bro.
That Pink's All Loud came out in November 23rd of 2006.
Damn.
Yeah, so it was a while ago. But, I mean, check out those. I mean, their videos are pretty tight.
And you got to think they've been doing it before. That's just when it became on film.
We was,
bro.
Like, back in 01, like
I was around the same time Fast and the Furious and stuff like that, too. That's what I'm wondering, too. Like, how come it went the importer route instead of the actual,
cheaper? Probably, I don't know.
If you're gonna blow a bunch of cars, I'd rather be them than a bunch of.
Probably just depend on the area, because I mean, ain't that where like in the 70s and shit they used to race and stuff? Because back like now they got the last call Black Ghost, like dudes used to pull out, and that was back in the day.
So has muscle cars always been around, or did they have a comeback?
They definitely had a comeback.
Yeah, I was about to say they definitely had a comeback.
I think this is right now is the area they're coming back.
Yeah.
Oh,
knowing, and it's getting even bigger since they are phasing out now.
Right.
Like it's just going to get even.
Yep.
I think in the late 70s or in the 80s, the EPA with the gas mileage and everything, they were really on top of it. That's what killed the muscle cars from the late 60s, and then,
emissions.
they came out with those little 305s pushing out 100 horsepower.
Yep, EGR valves.
I mean, just killing the power, right?
Yep.
I mean, if you think about it,
that was when we was in there in the 80s.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s. If you made 500 horse, you will come out in Ford magazines and I mean, dude hits 500 horse on a Fox body money. That was huge. Fucking cars nowadays.
I know, right?
They got 800-900 horsepower out of the factory. And
dude, the one I had been in, that was the first one that was pushing over 1,000 was Allen's, and he took me in there, and I was like, "Oh, dude,
yeah."
And would you say he had it turned down halfway?
Oh yeah, it was.
I was like, "Holy fuck, man!"
It's a big difference.
That scared the shit out of me.
Huge difference.
Dude.
It's that pull.
You sunk in your seat.
Yeah,
because I like with my car, like going from 600 to 800 was a big difference. You know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of cats. Talk about like the pedal commanders and stuff just to kind of shorten up that throttle lag. And I ran one from like stock to the 600 horsepower range. And then when I got my car back from Ryan them this last time, and that mug was making 8, I had to take that shit out. It was like it was ridiculous. Like I'd hit the gas, that motherfucker was like like just I was like, oh shit, I don't need to turn this mug on no more. You know what I'm saying? I capped it in there like couple months, turned it on here and there, and I was like, yeah, I don't need this shit no more. Took it out, sold it, because like I said, the power was there, like on tap. Like it was, and so I know going from like that 8 to 1,000 is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't even gotta your big toe, the weight of your toe into the gas pedal, that mug is like, you know.
Yeah.
But shit,
but that's kind of what you guys chase, though, right? I mean, that's that feeling, you know,
that feeling, I mean? That rush,
that rush. We trying to get James up there to that 800 horsepower club, you know. Like shit.
One of their knives. This is West Winter.
Yeah, boy. I'm trying to get him to. We gonna try to start pulling this the top end apart tonight. You know what I'm saying? If you got to get that next level.
Hopefully, I'm working towards where I get to the point where I'm gonna just start dropping my stuff off and be like, "Hey, I'll be back in a week." My back just ain't all.
The thing is, that's gonna be us.
I know. Yeah, leave
our shop, bro. Like,
there's a number I've been chasing since I got into this. I was.
He talks about this all the time.
1,600.
No, hell no.
I'm about to say like 1,600.
No, since I was 16, I've been.
What is it, 9 something or what?
No, I just won. I don't give a fuck if it's 10, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. I just got to be able to say,
hit 1,000.
I hit 10.
Yep,
that's it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I wasn't even tripping. Car. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 10-second car?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you don't need 1,000 for that then.
No. Shit, I'm talking about. That's what I said. 10, 9, 9, 9, 9.
Well, stop being cheap and put another 10 grand into that car, man.
I don't even another 10 grand.
Bro, don't they? Who was that, bro? Mac built them. Don't they got like a 10-second NA 392?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not that bad to hit a 10 now.
Yeah, 10 is put a
it's
tire
like
on that.
Al though, when you want to hit like a 9 and an 8, that's
Al
when
was chasing the 8. I know that's what Al was chasing. He wants to see that.
But I remember when he called me after he hit that 9. That man was crying. Yeah. But I felt him though, because he like that shit was like, this is like after it, everything, the motor and shit like that. And he finally hit that mug. I even changed my contact in his phone. 9-second Al.
Can you break that down though? What the meaning of the time is on the track, like how far that is, and
so in a quarter-mile track, it's just how fast it takes your car to cross that quarter-mile, that marker.
And so what makes that 9 so like
that's
because not very many people can get that, right?
That's fast.
What's average
for a street car, especially?
I'd say 11s.
No, well,
12
factories. Every factory you're probably running a 12.
12, 15.
Yeah.
Some of them 12.
Yeah. You start getting down in the 10s and the 9s and the 8s, and
because 10-second cars was like
it's crazy.
That was
3-second difference.
10 second was the 8 seconds.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Isn't that 1, 2, 3? Like that's literally that's this
insane,
that fast.
Yeah. But how hard it is to get to that? How much money and
everything now it's right there. That's where everything plays a factor. Yeah. Your tire, suspension,
reaction time.
I mean, like everything right there is gonna. Yeah.
How much them new Corvettes doing right now off the lot? Like what are they doing? Like, aren't they pushing like 700 horsepower?
No, they're 5.
Yeah,
they're 5, but they're just super light, and it's all mid-engine. Yeah. So it's
what's stock right now that you can get up into that area, like 700, 600? Like, isn't there something like
just
Hellcats?
Because I mean, even the ZL1s only make 580 from the factory.
Man, don't leave my boys out. The Shelbys.
The Shelbys, the Shelbys do make 760s and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
I will never ever do a Ford, bro.
Me either, bro. Like, bro, it's like I'm
got
this close
one time. And
you had a Temple.
We was at a dealer, and that was it. And I left it at that. Yeah. Bro, I got into the
Mustang.
The Mustang.
The Tempo fucked it up for him.
He was like, "This is made for women." Yeah. Because you get in there and you're like this.
Hey, hold on,
I don't
bro.
see how them big old dudes.
I'm a Mustang guy, so I feel Cesar on this.
They like their seats are. Yeah. And then you get into a Chevy and it's a little wider. But when you get into a Dodge, them some wide back motherfuckers.
I give. Dodge
I chose the 2-wheel route, so
If I
didn't have my motorcycle, I'd have a Mustang up there.
I don't know if I could. I don't know. Just growing up, I've always Mustang has been the only thing Ford's offered. So I've just been like, I don't know if I could do it because everybody got one, bro. Yeah. You got the Camaros, you got that group, but then you have Firebirds.
This podcast's over. We're done.
Yeah. Hey, but we do got to give Ford though their flowers because they've always had real nice interior. True. I mean, even. Like how the Mustang looks. I know everyone wants to shit on it, but man, it's a beautiful car, man. I give it to them.
I'll tell you what, I would be happy if I had the money. I would take my Challenger.
Because I feel like even Dodge, man, like they've always kind of been a little step behind, like especially in cosmetic.
I don't know. 2016 and up is when they really improved.
That's when they changed. But Ford was doing it. Look at my truck.
I mean, all of them got. I feel like the
my truck's an 04, and it's got a nice
interior.
It's a Lariat, but I mean,
but in the cars though, I feel like they all kind of still have all that plasticky feel like on the dash and stuff. But seat wise, you know what I'm saying? Like the Alcantara, the leathers, stuff like that. They all didn't came up.
Yeah. I will say we had a mutual homeboy that passed away, and his thing, he was big into Mustangs.
Yeah.
So I rented a Mustang. And I got for his funeral, because they had and they wanted everybody to trail behind him.
Right.
And so I rented a Mustang, and I got the EcoBoost one. Now that mug did surprise me. Like I was having fun in that thing. Like that was dope. So I'll give them their flowers on that most definitely. That and their transmissions.
But I would say that exactly. If I had the money to do it right now, I would dump it a Coyote and a 10-speed tranny
and a Fox body.
No, in that Challenger.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, like, bro, like now for real, I would do a Fox body and do a LS swap.
Yeah, why does everyone always do that? Is it cheaper route?
That's a cheap.
Instead of going like a crate, the Coyote.
That's one thing about Coyotes. They're stupid expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, the motors are still
$15,000 or something like that.
Right now, they done dropped in price, but I think you can get a truck Coyote, but you're still at 8 bands. Now you still need a tranny. You still need probably the ECM. You still need a rear end. And then you got a piece in the dry shaft.
But it's worth it though, right?
Hell yeah, you boy.
LS, I think just Chevy. I don't know if they did that on purpose or what, but they literally put that motor in. Everything.
Right.
Yeah. Talking about from panel truck to small trucks to SUVs, and so you can literally.
Look at that Impala, the front wheel drive Impala SS. They had that.
How many different generations of LS is there?
What are they at 7? No, they got LS9 now.
Yeah, they got
LS9.
And they just keep going and going and going.
And they keep getting better.
Now they got the L and then there's usually like 2 different versions. I know like with the 6 liters you had like the what was it, like a LK? Nah, don't give me the line. I can't even think of them shits right now.
LQ4
and LQ6 or something.
Yeah.
And I think they got that with the same, and then they got all the LTs now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I don't know.
Those ATs are killer fucking.
Are they pretty easy to work on too?
For the most part.
Yeah.
One thing that every LS guy has is you don't have to pull your heads off to do that cam swap.
Yeah.
That is huge. Very.
And I mean, they say that about the Dodge too. Like you could spin because they got the lifter.
Yeah, retainer.
You know what I'm saying? You can spin it, but I just wouldn't trust it. You know what I mean? Because shit, then if the lifter drop, you like, you got to take the head off. Fish it out.
I don't know, man. James, we'll try that on yours tonight.
Ain't nobody got time to be doing that, bro.
That's the one thing about them Hemis, though. Like, you can pull the head with the header. So that makes it a lot easier as opposed to like the LSs and the Fords, But yeah, man. Like, shoot, like, dude was they did a podcast. The guys you were talking about, what's that dude's podcast? The one that you was talking about, the one from New York.
Let me see.
The
Street Alpha podcast.
Street Alpha. He did a podcast with
One Stock and Pepper.
Right. Though I
don't know if
remember
that's their names. I'm guessing that's their.
Yeah, this guy. It was a single guy that was on there, and he was talking about the Fords, and like he was saying, though, you do like the oil pump gears, throw the EES supercharger on it, which is like essentially like a Vortec, 800 horsepower. You know what I mean? On a stock bottom end.
Oh, yeah, I seen that one. I seen that one because he was just like, because he gave him like a budget. He was like 10 grand. What would you do?
Yep.
And he's like, you like 8 in with 800 horsepower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which you could do that with Dodge now, though. Well, nah, you wouldn't be able to. Not with the 6.4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the 10 grand, it wouldn't need 10 grand to, you make like 650 or almost 7.
Yeah.
With the 6.4, but on the LS for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want to hold you guys up any longer, man. I know you guys got stuff to do. I appreciate you guys coming on. I really do.
Thank you for having us.
I had a reschedule this week. I was hoping I like to prepare more, you know what I mean, on who I'm having on.
Bro.
But I'd love to have you guys on again. If you guys are ever interested, hit me up. You guys are always welcomed on. It was a good time. Believe it or not, we're at an hour 40.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
Goes by quick, don't it?
Yeah, bro.
But nah, man, I learned a lot, man, and that's kind of what I do. You know what I mean? Like I go into everything like hobby wise, you know, like a little bit here, a little bit there. So I'm just fascinated with guys like you when you guys are so immersed into one thing. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's probably other hobbies you guys got, but this is your thing. You know,
we're gonna keep those in the back door though.
But nah, man, it was great, man. I love this, man, and you know, I'll have all your guys, if you guys don't mind, your Instagram and stuff like that up there for people to see. You know, I'm sure you guys got stuff on your social medias and stuff. So, but yeah, anything else coming up, man? Anything, y'all? No.
Nah, just getting ready. The winter time is usually the time where we
time to prep.
You know what I'm saying? We was just down there talking to the tuner. Was like, yo, we got to get a tune up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure these tunes is holding steady.
Yeah.
You know. So
well, thanks, fellas. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Yes, sir.